What's up, Totem Pole Nation? This is Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. We are getting into the rest of the Week 14 games, giving our picks and predictions. We will also get into who we think will win the NFL MVP this year. We'll give a few options, but I don't know if you can guess who my pick will be. Anyway, thank you to Sideline Sports Network, as always, for the platform. And if you want some merch, like these cool hats, these MVP color hats, you can go to totempolnation.com, get whatever you need. Let's get into it.
All right, I got to start with this. Who will win the most valuable player in 2023? Here are my candidates. Brock Purdy has a chance to win it, obviously, with 23 touchdowns, I think 6 interceptions. Dak Prescott is up there with 26 and 6. Running backs wise, they don't really do running backs, but we're going to do Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott. Do you have any other MVP candidates that are up there or have a chance?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So
he's already got 1,400 yards. He's He's leading the league in touchdowns. If this wasn't purely a quarterback award, I think his odds would be a lot better than they are right now. The best odds you can get him at is plus 1,600 on DraftKings. The lowest odds are plus 900 on PointBet. He's not going to win it, unfortunately, because it's a quarterback award at this point. But I do think, and this is a Dallas fan saying this, I do think that he is, without a doubt, one of the most valuable players in the league. And he's just not going to get that recognition because it is a QB award. But I don't know what the odds are right now. But I tell you something, if you can bet on who will win Offensive Player of the Year, it is a lock to get Tyreek Hill on that award. Unless he wins MVP and defies all the odds, you will make money betting on Tyreek Hill, Offensive Player of the Year. Without a doubt.
Should Tua be up there for MVP? Just looking at his numbers at 24 and 10, obviously, with his QBR at 61 with 61. 9, obviously. I know the QBR is not where it needs to be, obviously, because his turnovers go up and down. But with the success of the Miami Dolphins, do you think he should be up there? Tua?
Well, so I feel like you can't put one in and not put the other in when I'm talking about Tyreek, right? But I will say that we didn't see Tua do anything like this. Granted, he was younger, wasn't given the full opportunity under that, staff over there. So I'm not putting it all on him. But we've seen Tyreek do this to a lesser extent because he's already got 1,400 yards with multiple games to play. He's very – I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 2,000, which would be insane. Who do you give more of the credit to? If you want to talk about him, you got to talk about both. But if there's a more serious candidate than the other, I'm going Tyreek. Just because we know the value that he brings because of the contract he signed to the Dolphins. He was already that guy that got paid, and now he's going to, have 2,000 receiving yards.
I do not agree when he said when he first came to the Dolphins, and he still said it on Hard Knocks, obviously, that Tua is the most accurate quarterback in all the NFL. I don't know about that. Everybody can't be accurate. Quarterback is not easy. But not only that, I think before we continue to the games, Rookie of the Year, I'm going to take C.J. Stroud as Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah, you can lock that in too. That's money in the bank, which is, pretty crazy. Let me see what his odds are. Okay, well, the best odds you can get for CJ Stroud Rookie of the Year right now is minus 2,000. So
you can make no money off that.
No, I know you're not going to make a cent off of that unless you put $2,000 down. You can make a solid 100. That's not worth it. I don't think. Let me look at some other things before we get into the games here, because I do think
2,000. Yeah, minus 2,000. Oh my god.
Yeah. So right now, for offensive player of the year, Tyreek Hill is the best odds you can get him at is minus 175, which is pretty good. Like considering how much of a lock I think it is. And then CMC you can get for plus 200 as well if you think that he's going to surpass Tyreek. But I will say I think the Tyreek bet is safer money there for sure.
Huh, I do agree with that. First game I get into is the Bucks versus the Falcons. Obviously, Bucks have great receivers.
Wait, you didn't say who you thought was going to win. You didn't think?
Oh, between McCaffrey and Tyreek.
No. For MVP.
Oh, I'm gonna take if they give it to wide receiver, I'm taking Tyreek Hill. If they take a quarterback,
do you think that they're going to give it to a wide receiver?
I'm gonna give you two answers. If it's a wide receiver, Tyreek Hill. If it's a quarterback, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy.
Dak Prescott's bringing it home. We're going to have an MVP quarterback on the squad.
We'll see.
I'm
not right. It just comes down to whatever else comes down to. But next, Bucks versus Falcons. Baker Mayfield's not having a bad year, by the way. I know they're 5-7, but Tampa Bay has no run game. The Falcons don't know who they want to start at quarterback. Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke. I think Ridder would be the starter, obviously. I'm not sure he'll make any money on his ESPN bets, obviously. I'll take Atlanta. I don't know if they will cover the spread at minus 1.5, and then the over-under is 39.5. I'm going to go with the Falcons because, defensively, they're a little bit better than Tampa Bay. Like, secondary-wise, they're a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons. The Bucs just don't have a run game, and with the Falcons, they have a way better run game than the Bucs.
Yeah, and for that same exact reason, I'm going with the Falcons. I was pretty 50-50 on this just because of how good of a season Baker and Mike Evans are having, but you can't just have a one-dimensional offense against a defense that is much improved like this Falcons D is. So I just have way more trust in what the Falcons can do with, the inefficiencies at their quarterback position. Obviously, Desmond is going to be the starter until, Arthur Smith says something different. But I think even when he benched him, he didn't want to bench him. I think he wants to see what he has before this draft coming up, So Desmond is just mediocre, dude. He is the most average quarterback I have ever seen that has some of the most just mind-boggling turnovers that you're like, how the hell did that even happen? And that's just what the Falcons have been for the past 2 years. That's whatever. I'm going to roll with them here, though, because I think their defense can manage what the offense is going to bring them from the Bucs.
Next game, Lions versus the Bears. Lions are 9-3. Is that surprising? No. They destroyed the Saints, obviously. It was a very close game towards the end when they tried to make the comeback. When it comes to the Bears defense has really stepped up. That hasn't really been the issue. The issue has been the offense. Now, I know Bears numbers statistically on defense is not great, but the last time I saw them when they played against the Vikings, with the crucial interceptions of Josh Dobbs, is a different subject for later. I'm going to take the Lions. I like where they're going with Jared Goff, Amari St. Brown, David Montgomery, by the way. Thank you for messing up my prize pictures. You didn't get over 59 yards or whatnot, so I lost about some good amount of money. But when it comes to the Lions, their defense is a little bit better. It's obviously not the same because of the key losses that they have. I'm going with the Lions. I don't trust the Bears. What type of Justin Fields are we going to get? Are we going to get a Justin Fields? Even though Justin Fields did not play well Monday Night Football 2 weeks ago, are we going to get Justin Fields that scrambles in the pocket, that slides correctly? What type of Justin Fields are we going to get? I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, this one's tough because the first time they played, it was a super close game, 31-26. And when you look at, just the guys that are going to be lined up against each other, you got to go Lions. They're a more talented team. They're a more complete team all around. And I think they're a better coach team. And that's not a hot take by any means. But I will say that basically echoing what you said with the trust factor, who do you trust more, the Bears or the Lions? And I think this new brand of Lions football that we're seeing is just, I mean, outside of the Thanksgiving game, obviously, you can point at pretty much every week and see something that you like, where in the past with the Lions, you couldn't do that at all. And with the Bears, it's the same thing, except for this year, you can't point it every week and find something you like. Like the Lions have a consistent, showcase of success and good playing this year, whereas the Bears have flashes. So do I think that flash is going to happen here? I don't think so.
Next game, Colts versus the Bengals. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Browning outplayed Trevor Lawrence. He only had 5 incompletions. You're talking about 32 of 37? I mean, my God. Now they play a Colts team who was actually 5-1 on the road. Gardner Minshew. Without Anthony Richardson, don't be surprised if Shane Steichen, the first-year head coach, possibly gets, head coach of the year or whatever the award is. I can't remember the top of my head. Don't be surprised that he's a candidate or wins, coach of the year. Just despite what the Colts are doing without the 4th pick of Anthony Richardson, obviously. It's a tough game because I thought the Bengals would get blown out by Jacksonville Jaguars and all this other stuff. And this is tough. You got to go with yours first. But Coach Ball, yeah, I agree with what you said, by the way. You got to go with yours. I don't even know who to pick. You go with yours first. I don't know who to pick between the Bengals and the Colts, especially with Gardner Minshew playing the way he's playing. But Jake Browning, I'm not saying he's all that, but the order to have 5 incompletions against a good Jacksonville team,
yeah,
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to combine your question and what Coach Ball just brought up. Little locks of the week, bets, all that stuff. I'm with you there. We just went into all the future bets and stuff like that. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm picking the Colts. And here's why I'm picking the Colts. If we use, past games, like I've made some money off of this year. When backup quarterbacks come in and they've played well in that first game, which has, I feel like, happened like 3 or 4 times already this year. Will Levis, Tyson Bagent, DeVito's had some good games, but not really him. Either way, when the first game has been on fire, that second game, here's a lock for you. He's going to throw a pick. It has happened in every damn game. Someone blows up. Some backup quarterback comes in. He's great. The second game he starts in a row, it could be a good game, whatever. He's going to throw an interception. That is my lock of the week, is the Bengals QB will be throwing an interception. I'm taking the Colts here. I don't, and this is not a knock on him. He obviously had the game of his life, but the Colts have been playing pretty well. So my lock of the week, Bengals QB throwing an interception. My pick in this game, Colts win.
By the way, thing for Jake Browning is actually his 4th game, because remember he played against the Ravens Thursday night when Joe Burrow got hurt, and then he played against the Steelers, and then he played against Jacksonville. So this is his 4th game.
How do you do in this game?
1 touchdown, 0 picks, 1-1, 1-0. So yeah, 1-0, 1-1, and 1-0. He had 1 pick against the Steelers. They lost by 6 though. Very tough team. But I'm gonna pick the Bengals because they're at home. The Bengals at home. Look what Jamar Chase is doing. Jamar Chase without Joe Burrow still went off. I'm still confident in the Cincinnati defense, obviously. It's still good. It's still very efficient. Now they need to get the run game going with Joe Mixon a little bit more. But look, Cincinnati at 6-6 in the division, right? Steelers at 7-5 have a chance to lose to my Patriots, which we'll talk about next. And then the Ravens sitting at 9-3. You see how it's that close. Now, the playoff spot-wise, I think the Bengals are still maybe 8 or 9, maybe somewhere, maybe at 7. They might be at the bottom. But the Bengals 6-6, motivation going on. They're at home. I'm going ahead and taking those Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to take them. And it all starts with Jamar Chase. So that's why I'm saying that. Quarterback-wise, Gardner Minshew is better than Jake Browning, obviously. It starts with Jamar Chase. Who's the Colts' primary receiver that they go to?
Pittman.
Not Jamar Chase.
True. Yeah.
Not Jamar Chase.
Yeah, good point.
But next game, I will get to tomorrow's game. I think I'm surprised I'm going to get a beer and actually watch this sorry, pathetic game. The Patriots versus the Steelers. Patriots are 2-10 for the first time since maybe 2000. And I think the Patriots are the first team to hold 3 opponents under 10 points and can't score on offense. Well, is it Bill Belichick? Yes, obviously he's the head coach. But the lack of offense. Who starts at quarterback tomorrow? I don't know. Bailey Zappi ain't any better. Mac Jones ain't any better. Do we go to Malik Cunningham? He had wide receiver reps according to Bill O'Brien. The Steelers, they lost Kenny Pickett. He got surgery. Mitch Trubisky will be the starter. Am I happy? Yes. Did he play in the first Steelers game last year? No, I don't think so. Mitch Trubisky played before he started, obviously. I'm going to take my Patriots. The reason why I took the Chargers is because the Chargers offensively last week were better. We held it in 6 points. We can't score on offense. I don't think this game will be any much better. I wouldn't be surprised if we played for draft picks. Now, we lost another wide receiver and a running back, Demario Douglas and Ramondre Stevenson. So that does not help us at all. I know we had injuries all year, and I'm realistic. I'm not saying injuries is an excuse why we're 2-10, because if you really watch the games, we had about 4 or 5, maybe 7 chances to win games, despite blowouts to the Saints and the Cowboys and all this other stuff. I'm going with the Patriots, but if I'm gonna bet this, I'm put under 30.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 13-10 game.
Yeah, I'm right with you. That was actually going to be another one of my locks of the week or whatever. This game is just going to be such a snooze fest. I will not guarantee that I watch the entirety of this game. And I think if I do, it's going to take more than one beer, brother, to get through this one. So I'm going to go with the Patriots as well for pretty similar reasons. A big reason for me is y'all can stop the run. You can, you've shown it, and you've shown that you can just stop an offense flat out, like run past everything. You can halt an offense. We've seen it. And it's not like the offense that we're going to see from the Steelers this week with Mitch leading the way is going to be explosive by any means. So I do have confidence that you hold the Steelers offense to, below 14 or below for sure. The question is, can you get anything going on offense? And, Zeke is going to be a workhorse in this game. Obviously, his line right now is 55.5 yards. Going against the Steelers, I don't know if you want to touch it, but I will say that he is going to be he's going to get a lot of touches. You have to. You don't really have damn near anything else. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Coach Bald. It's going to be a sucky game. I think the Patriots are going to have the upper hand, regardless of who they start on at the QB spot, just because we've seen what Mitch does in this offense, and he can have a touchdown throw. That's a damn sure thing. Like he can throw the ball. We've seen it. He can also throw the ball to the other team, and it's not like y'all's defense is garbage. Obviously, we've just talked about how good they've been in recent weeks. So I'm going with the Patriots reluctantly, I will say, but I'm going with the Patriots.
If you're going to bet on Zeke going over 55 yards, whatever the bet is, don't do it because that offensive line stinks. And the play calling is in the works. Next game, the Saints versus the Panthers. Obviously, they can't win the game on the road. The Saints are very, very inconsistent. The Saints, Dennis Allen's job might be on the line. Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator's job, might be on the line. What time does Zappy's hour start tomorrow? I don't
like Like happy hour, yeah, brother.
Happy hour.
If you want to get through that whole damn game, it's gonna have to start pretty early, I think.
You know what? Start your happy hour at 7:00. Go ahead and start your happy hour at 7 Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central time. Go ahead and start that because I don't
Keep
know
it
what to tell
rolling
you.
through 11
I
o'clock.
don't know what to tell you. I don't care what quarterback start. I really don't. I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to make no sense. I don't care at this point. I'm ready for next season. That's why I pay attention to basketball now. But with the Carolina Panthers versus the Saints have been very inconsistent. Run game's not good. Alvin Kamara is very frustrated. Pete Carmichael, offensive coordinator, needs to be let go. The Panthers, they just fired Frank Wright 2 weeks ago, obviously. Please don't watch this game. If you're a fan, watch the game. If you're trying to learn more about the game, don't watch this game. I'm gonna go with the Saints, but it'll be close because they're inconsistent on offense. Their defense is okay, but the defense can't be carrying them all the time. I'm gonna be safe and go with the Saints. Panthers, no offense, of line, and so forth.
Yeah. So this is a pick that I think is going to come back and bite me in the butt. I don't care. Panthers are getting a win this week. I'm putting it in. And here's something that I'll do too. This is the opposite of what we've been saying. This is my stay away from this game of the week. We have no idea what the hell is going to happen on the field between the Panthers and the Saints. We've already seen it once, and it was the worst Monday Night Football game of all time. That was the dual cast. They had two games that night. Both of them sucked. Remember, both of them sucked, and this one was like a 13-10 game or something. Don't put any money on this game. We have no idea what the hell is going to happen, and that's why I'm picking the Panthers. You know, they've shown some bright spots. Jonathan Mingo is actually starting to, look like a wide receiver that can, help lead a team. So. That's a good transition off of Adam Thielen to Mingo if they can actually make that happen. I'm not guaranteeing that goes this week, especially with the defense that the Saints do have. But both of these teams are atrocious, and we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going with the Panthers, but I'm also saying if you're a betting man or woman, stay away from this game.
Okay, my lock of the week and player prop bet of the week. CJ Stroud, Texans versus the Jets. Now, Robert Saleh. Now, I'm going to say this before I even get to the lock of the week and, the player prop. I'm going to say this. The Jets quarterback situation. Tim Boyle, Zach Wilson. Tim Boyle, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson again. Tim Boyle was released, I think, a couple days ago. The fact that the Jets have no animosity and no smartness to get a veteran quarterback like a Colt McCoy, like the Vikings got with a Josh Dobbs. Now, I don't know if he'll be the starter going forward just because of the Monday night game a couple weeks ago, but the audacity not get a veteran quarterback. Oh, we're fine. We're going to wait till Aaron Rodgers comes back. Aaron Rodgers, please do not play this year. Don't play this year. You have no chance of making the playoffs sitting at 4-8. You're going to sit there and tell me you're going to win the next 5 games. One of them includes the Patriots, which you can't beat the Patriots. One of these teams includes the Texans, who are 7-5, the most wins they had since 2019. My lock of the week will be the Texans. I'm going to take the spread and minus 3.5 ESPN bet. And my player prop of the week, CJ Stroud, because CJ Stroud has went off. He only has 5 interceptions of the year. He has a chance to win Rookie of the Year. But when it comes to the Jets, I'm not confident in Zach Wilson. Nobody is. All he is just a guy that took his best friend's mom and did whatever he did. He takes the mills, which is a great thing, but he's not a good football player, okay? And one more thing. Do not be surprised. Despite Aaron Rodgers coming in next year, I don't know how many years he's going to play because he just turned 40. Do not be surprised if Robert Saleh gets fired.
What's the prop that you're taking for CJ?
But the prop,
like, what do you think? His yards, touchdowns, what?
I'm gonna take touchdowns. I would give CJ Stroud 3 touchdowns against a good Jets defense.
Word. Yeah, I'm going with the Texans as well, and I don't know if Well, actually, yeah, screw it. Whatever. I'll have multiple locks of the week. This is another one. I'm riding with you here. That 3.5 spread is ridiculous in my mind. This is a good defense, and I'm not, not giving them their credit because they deserve it. But at the same time, this offense, even without, Tank obviously being out for the Texans, is a huge loss to that passing offense. But they've got guys down the line that have just shown up and been dogs this year. I mean, dude from Dallas last year, dropping all the passes, he led to Dak having like 7 interceptions by himself. Shows up in Houston, and he's a whole new receiver. Noah Brown is who I'm talking about. They've just got guys coming out of the woodwork that have had big games this year. So I don't think that the loss of Tank is going to derail this offense as much of a big loss as it is. There's nothing about the Jets offense that you look at and you're like, sweet, yeah, let me put all my trust into that for them to win this game, because they don't give Brees the touches that you think that they should. And a lot of times it's because they're trailing in games and they have to pass, and you're passing with dog shit as your quarterback. So, and that's not going to, change. I think on Tuesday when Aaron was on the Pat McAfee show, he definitely seemed like he had an understanding that there's no point in him playing this year. He didn't say anything outright about whether it was a yes or a no, but it seemed like there was an understanding there that it wasn't going to happen this year. So I don't think we have to worry about that. But yeah, 3.5 for the Texans here is just too little points. I agree with you. I think that they're going to win by at least a touchdown here. So give me the Texans, give me the 3.5, lock it.
Lock in of the week. I'm going to do another one. Vikings versus the Raiders. The Raiders, they're very, they're getting better under Antonio Pierce, interim coach. The Vikings, they don't know who they want to start. Is it going to be Jaren Hall? Is it going to be Josh Dobbs? Because of what happened on Monday night, even into their bye week, they're choosing between these two quarterbacks. I think Jaren Hall might be the starter going forward. If not, they will tell us something, but I think Jaren Hall will be the starter. My lock-in of the week would be the Vikings, and I will take -3 Minnesota Vikings on the road. They have Justin Jefferson back, by the way. They have a very good tight end, obviously. Their defense under Brian Flores has improved. It has gotten better. It's been very, very aggressive. My lock-in of the week is Vikings. My player prop will be Justin Jefferson over 120 yards receiving against his Raiders defense.
What's his actual line? Why don't we just look at what his actual prop is and go off of that?
I'm just going
120, brother. That's your lock? You're telling the people.
Over 120 yards receiving, yes.
What if this blows up and we just have so many people watch this video and they're like, oh, this Lambo guy.
Well, you deserve
me to lock it in 120. And
you deserve it. You deserve it. Justin Jefferson, I don't know what the prop is. You gotta tell me. I gotta get better at props.
I'm pulling it up. I
gotta get better at this props. I normally don't bet players. I bet on teams. I hate betting against players that I don't ever win against players, especially when it comes to touchdowns. But Justin Jefferson over 120 yards receiving, and I would give him one touchdown. Especially with Jaren Hall being the starter. Now, can Josh Dobbs give him the ball? I do not know. What's the prop?
All right, so the prop is so this might be a lock. But it depends on who's at quarterback. Last time we saw a quarterback in a Vikings uniform, he played like absolute shit, and we don't know if the alternate is going to be better than what we've seen. And that's also not saying that Dobbs is a trash quarterback. Obviously, we've seen him ball out. The line, though, for Jefferson is 65.5.
Over 65, then.
Right. All right. Yeah. I think I'd be with you there, too. I don't know if I'm putting it as my lock of the week, but over 65.5 seems like a ridiculous line for JJ. But then you realize that we don't know who's going to play quarterback. And the last time a quarterback was in that purple uniform, they threw the most boneheaded interceptions of all time. So I think I'm going with the Raiders in this game. I like you said, Alec Pierce has gotten these boys on a different just headspace. It seems like like at first they were miserable showing up to work. now they like it. Now they're smoking cigars after games. And it's not because, like, I don't think it's overkill that they're smoking these cigars. Maybe the second game or third game they did it was a little bit too much. But I will say that it just shows that this team felt like they were trapped under Josh. And now with AP as the coach, it seems like they're just free. They can play like a team. So like a complete team. So I'm going with the Raiders here. I think it's a close game because both of these offenses are, who knows what you're going to get. See, me and coach are on the same page here. So give me the Raiders. Close game. I don't know if I'm locking anything in. I'm not going to tell anyone to bet either which way on this game because,
you don't know.
We have no clue. We have no clue.
All right, next game, a rematch in NFC West that happened on Thanksgiving, which was a blowout. Seahawks versus the 49ers. 49ers at home. See what the 49ers did to both teams of the Cowboys and Eagles, but not just that. They whooped the Eagles. And I told people about what the 49ers were going to do to the Eagles. That defense finally got exposed. Deebo Samuel went off. He finally came back. He went off. Christian McCaffrey went off. Then they got Brandon Ayuk. They got George Kittle. They got Brock Purdy, who has probably one of the best odds to win MVP as of right now. Seattle, they're struggling, obviously. I'm not going to do a locker week for this game because I think 49ers going to – No, I'm doing a locker week because this game could be close between NFC West teams, obviously. I think it could be close. It could be better, especially if Kenneth Walker is someone back in this mix as well. I don't think the Seahawks are going to win. Lock of the week, I'm going to take 49ers. I'm going to take minus 10.5, obviously. And then they got so many players. I'm going to take who do I feel confident? I feel confident in Deebo again. Deebo over 2 touchdowns. Yeah. He had, 2 or 3 against the Eagles. He went off.
A lock, a lock cannot be these just wild. They can be. It's your lock.
No. I'm saying the player prop. I'm taking Deebo. I'm not gonna do a lock. I'm not gonna do a lock on this. No. I think the 49ers gonna win anyway. But the player prop, I want to take Deebo over 2 touchdowns. I want to take Deebo.
All right,
he's on my fantasy team.
I hear you. I'm with you. I am obviously going Niners here. I already mentioned it with the Dallas prediction earlier. They put up a lot of points on that Dallas defense. That is very good, but you also have to account for the fact that was their 3rd game in 13 days, I think. So, that's a gas defense that you saw again, like with your fresh offense. You're going against a fresh 49ers defense who, God, is, on paper, I've been saying this all year, the best in the league. And statistically, they're, up in that top 3 area anyways. So I've got way more trust in what the Niners are bringing to the table versus what you see with the Seahawks maybe once or twice every 4 games. So, lock me in with the Niners here.
All right. I think it's the final game. Broncos versus the Chargers. Chargers barely beat the Patriots so well, but the Denver Broncos have started the season 1-3. They might have a chance to get into the playoff picture now. I'm going to go ahead and take money line Denver Broncos plus 130. Now, I don't know why the Chargers have better odds of winning. The spread is -3. Or you can go over 43.5 just because of the offense. I know, don't go over 43. They only scored 6 points against my sorry Patriots. Don't do that. Don't take the under. Don't go over under. Go money line Denver Broncos. I like what the Denver Broncos are doing. I think Russell Wilson's understanding the Sean Payton system that he did under Drew Brees. They're understanding the system better. The defense is getting better. When it comes to the Chargers, they're wasting Justin Herbert's career. They have all that talent. Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. Now, I understand that Mike Williams and Palmer went down. Obviously, that does hurt as well, obviously. Kellen Moore being the new offensive coordinator. But when it comes to this, the Chargers are good, bad, good, bad. What type of Chargers team are we going to get? We don't know. I'm going to go ahead and take the hot hand of the Denver Broncos. They have been efficient. They won 4 of the last 5 games, and they lost to a very I know they lost to the Houston Texans, but it was a very close game.
Give me the Broncos. and give me Brandon Staley getting fired after this. I want both of those things to happen. I agree with you, dude. They're wasting this man's career. And it's not just the coaching. Like, they had chances to beat y'all last week. They had so many drop balls. And I hear, like, I'm with you with the Mike Williams going down as big and Palmer going down as big. They have the number one, and this is not obvious, like, this is circumstantial because the other receivers have gone down, but Keenan Allen has the most catches in the NFL. Like, Keenan is still playing at an elite level. He never went away, right? He was hurt a lot last year, came back this year. He's been a stud. Every game that he's played this year, he has been good. So, and then Austin Eckler started the year okay and got hurt, came back, and since that Cowboys game where he got held to like 1.4 yards a carry, he's been dog shit. And trust me, I know he was my lead back on one of my fantasy dynasty teams. Just had to trade him away for some future draft capital. He's just such this whole team has been a disappointment this year. We saw Quentin Johnson drop like 3 balls. That's been an issue for him all year. So, yeah, I mean, who do I trust? Give me the Broncos. Give me Brandon Staley getting fired after this week. Did we talk about the Jags and Browns?
Yes, we did. We talked about them earlier. We talked about the Jake Brown. You said the Jake Browning and stuff. You mentioned your lock was he throws a pick. And I mentioned that
that was the Bengals. That was the Bengals.
You said Browns and who?
Browns and Jags. I don't think we gave a prediction with those.
All right, let's go. If I didn't do that, then my bad. All right, let's go Browns and Jags. Lord of mercy. Yeah, Jacksonville and Cleveland. CJ Beathard is starting, obviously. No Trevor Lawrence. That does hurt, especially with that high ankle sprain. He will be back soon. Maybe give him 2 weeks. Maybe give him, 3 weeks. We'll see. But if he's out for the rest of the season, Jacksonville is undefeated on the road. Don't even bet this game. I don't even know. Because do you bet to the point where Joe Flacco still plays and he wasn't very well against the Rams? Doug Peterson lied on national television and said, we have more confidence in CJ Beathard. You know, damn well you lying. You ain't got no confidence. CJ Beathard over Trevor Lawrence. No. This game, I'm going to go ahead to the Cleveland Browns defensively. Whether Dorian Thompson-Robinson is back, whether Joe Flacco is back, I think their defense will be better. Dorian Thompson-Robinson should play. If not, it will be Joe Flacco. Obviously, Deshaun Watson ain't playing the rest of the season, I don't think. So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. They're 5-1 at home, but it comes down, I think their defense will be a lot better. And Jacksonville will be very, very limited with C.J. Beathard offensively. And with, with Travis Etienne. He played, but, he was kind of, hurt but weeks ago before that. So he's not really fully 100% healthy. I'm going to go ahead and take those Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Browns as well. I don't think that this Jags offense is going to get anything going. Trevor Etienne, his yards are going to be up, I think. But, you're going against the best rush defense in the league in the Browns, so you can't even put money on, even though he's going to have a heavy day, we have no idea what kind of output we're going to get going against a great run defense in Cleveland. I think regardless of the QB situation in Cleveland, that their offense is going to be more put together in this game. And, like Christian Kirk, that's a big loss as well. I don't know all the details of that groin injury, but it didn't look good. So I hope, he's better soon. I hope Trev's better soon. But in this game, I don't give the Jags, much of a chance.
Well, this is it for NFL 14 preview plus most valuable player. Thank you, Silas, for the platform. If you like, comment, subscribe, Total Pole Nation. You need your merch, you go to TotalPoleNation.com. This is Lambo and Matt Sports. We'll catch you in the next 5 minutes of NFL Top 5 Teams post Week 13. We'll see if there's any rights or wrongs, or if lists will be fluid for entertainment. So we'll see if we agree or disagree under any type of circumstances. Goodbye.